Welcome to Blue Collar Freedom Podcast. This here is at the Electrical Mastery class. So excited for my guest today, Dana Deininger with Campfire Design Studios. I'm telling you guys, I have been using Dana for many, many years. I'm really excited for you to get on here, Dana, and I'm so excited to have you as a guest, frankly, because you have a phenomenal design story and just I know it really well. But I'm really excited for you to tell our viewers about you and how we've worked together for so many years, from like when we first, I had an idea of an electrical company, and all the way through other things that we've built. We've built ski company brands together, those kind of things. So I just cannot wait for the world to get to know Dana Deininger and the potential that you bring to these trade businesses and design and really helping build brands inside this industry. Because I am in love with your work. You do a lot of my businesses, and I just am so excited to have you on the podcast. Dana, I would love it if you would start with telling the world about you and where you come from.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, before we get into, thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here. Great to, always good to chat with you, but awesome to be able to do it on your podcast. So appreciate that. But yeah, name's Dana. I'm the owner and creative director of Campfire Design Studio, but I've been in branding and design for over 20 years. And in that time, I have had like the good fortune of working with a lot of incredible people, a lot of incredible brands, and learned a lot along the way. So, in that time, I've worked with some of the industry titans like Amazon, Starbucks, and done a lot of transformational work there. But I've also worked with a lot of small brands, and it's just been an amazing journey. And it's just so awesome to be able to work with so many different people, hear their stories, bring their brands to life, and to see something that, like we talked about, like with Deer and some of your other things like Stash Skis and everything, where,
that was a while ago.
Oh man, definitely
Wow.
was. But, where it starts out is, you're having a conversation, you're talking about something, and then you're able to make it real. And that's what it's all about. It's awesome.
One of the things I love about you, Dan, and I'm just going to tell the world it because it's a very true and real statement for me. You're able to take my ideas and my visions, and you're able to actually take them and make them a reality. Mm-hmm. Like, I have come up with ideas and I'm like, this is how I envision it. And I kind of tell you that. And we can sit down for a lunch, like a working lunch. And by the end of it, you're like, tomorrow you'll have something that you can like pick and choose from, and I'll give you drafts of it. Like, and I know you can't always be that fast for everybody, but like one of the things, because I've known you for so long, we've been friends for a very long time, and I've watched you through your professional career and now starting your own design brand studio. Dana, I'm just so happy for you. I just am so excited to see you just take over the world, because you have some of the most amazing talent when it comes to that. And I mean that. And you know me, man, I'm like skeptical of everything until I've tested it and proved it. This guy was literally designing skis for me back before I even had a legit business in building and manufacturing skis. Just so anybody in the podcast world, like one of these days I'll talk about Stash Skis and how I built that. But we're gonna get back into Dana and what he's doing. And guys, I'm really, really excited to have you on, Dana. I'm going to ask you the first question I ask every guest. Every guest gets this first question.
Let's do it.
What does freedom mean to Dana?
What does freedom mean to Dana? It is, to me, freedom is it's time. It's time and the ability to use it how you want, to be able to take off when you need to, when you want to be able to do the things that you want to do, to have the flexibility and the means to do that. It's to be able to not be bound by complete obligations, but to be able to have the freedom to choose and to take advantage of that. Like, to me, like that's it's time, it's flexibility, it's able to have more time where you want it, placing it where you want it, with your family, with your friends, the things that you love doing that, like, that's freedom.
Man, I couldn't agree more. Freedom of time is the number one thing I hear for sure.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is the ability to be able to choose when and where you want to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just having that choice instead of being tied down to a job, tied down to a responsibility that you have to go do this or you have to go do that. Now, responsibilities aren't bad, and they're healthy.
They're good. You need
and
them.
and we all need accountability to those. But being able to say no when you don't want to, and it's not fitting to your overall goal, is really healthy in a freedom like mindset.
Absolutely. Being able to say no, but also being able to recognize like this doesn't fit the life that I want, and choosing to move towards what does. You know,
Man, that's deep. Like being able to choose to move into the life that you want.
Yeah. I mean, that's you only get one, you might as well do it.
I could not agree
But
more,
it's
man.
But it's it's sometimes that can be scary, but it's also, if you don't do it, you're gonna wake up and wish you did.
Wow. Well, that's a really good segue into my next question. And that is, why Campfire Studios?
Yeah.
What's the what took you here, and why did you start Campfire Studios?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a journey, as it always is. You know, I always kind of thought, you know, going back, you know, kind of looking at like my younger days, always wanted to like, you know, kind of grow within like more of like the creative studios and, you know, boutique firms, and then like work at some in-house places, get all of that experience. But the end goal has always been to have my own studio, you know, just to open that and do that. And like I said, I've worked with some amazing places, amazing people, and, you know, small studios that do like fantastic award-winning work, you know, to like these large corporate environments where you learn different things in every one. However, like in my most recent like world, it was something where I was more in that corporate environment. And, you know, I went through this whole process, and I was always, I need to be building my own thing. And eventually what happens, you know, like many things in like the large corporate world, you know, you get a reorg. Someone's looking at a spreadsheet from the top level, and, you know, before you know it, your whole org is dissolved. And in that moment, it was just like, what am I doing? I'm putting all my energy into something that can just be taken away. You know, if I'm gonna put my energy into it, I want it to be something that I'm building that supports me, my family, that can't be taken away, and that I'm in control of it. So for me, that was kind of like the time to be like, you know what, now is the time. You know, I've gone through, I've learned with lessons, I've climbed the ladder. It's time to do it on my own. And the other big thing with it, honestly, is I love working with people. I like founders. I love being able to get in a room, sit down, chat, hear their story, listen to like what they're trying to do, and then strategize and work together and give tools that can help make that a reality. And like when you actually do that, when you're able to actually sit and talk with somebody and make that connection and see the difference that makes for them and their life, that's when it gets worth it. Because it's more than just beautiful design. You're actually changing lives at that point. And that's what gets me excited. And that's why I started Campfire. I wanted to do more of that. I wanted to be able to sit down and just
so
do
powerful.
That. But that's what we do.
It is what we do. And I'm really, really blessed to have known you back when you necessarily weren't on your own and you were just doing little side hustles for me to rebrand things. I'm telling you guys, like, this guy is the branding, like, brilliance. Because what you do with ideas and flow and customer thoughts as they experience the touch points of your brands that you help bring to life. That's really what you're doing, is you're bringing these visions to life.
Yeah.
Right. And the way you talk about the way it makes you feel and how you're like actually making lives better, Dana, that's how I feel about training.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And that's exactly why we're here at Electrical Mastery at this event, is because I am like deep inside of my soul, I love helping people and I love watching them win.
Yep.
And I love watching that next level of whatever they're at, wherever they come from. Cool, great. But when they make that step up to that next spot, and you're just like, dude, I helped them get there.
Yeah.
I watched that happen. I saw the transformation.
How satisfying is that?
Oh
man.
I got a text yesterday. I'm sorry, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, from a company. Their general manager attended one of my sales trainings. They have not had a day like this in a very long time. They've actually kind of gone backwards until they went to one of my sales trainings. They went back out, and I got a text that said, we hit our first 200K day after I did a full training on your process, brought it back to the company, implemented it, put a $200,000 day up.
That's awesome.
After they implemented your designs, my sales process, and they went right for it, and they put up more than double of a day than they've put up in years.
It's amazing. I mean, it speaks to the power of brand, the power of that when you combine that with process, which is totally part of the whole branding process. It's, building those systems that can succeed. So when you hear something like that, like, it's awesome, because that's what it should be. It's like you want to do something where you get that measurable change and you can see it. And for that company to have that happen is phenomenal.
Well, it's the customer experience. So the brand is, and people miss this part. They think it's just the logo on the side of the truck.
Right.
And you and I could talk all day about this, because I totally thought it was that when I built my first skis.
Yeah.
Right. But then you helped me come up with, I think it was either you or one of our other buddies at the time that came up with the Find Yours in the stash name.
Yep.
And then we implemented that into all of the skis. And I'm talking like way back in the day, guys.
Yeah.
Like this guy and I go back. I mean, I was building skis 17 years ago. So out of a garage building snow skis, like it's, and I didn't even think about that before I hopped on the podcast. It literally just it flashed back as we're sitting here. Like, it was not part of my thing that I had planned for this conversation with you at all to go back to that. But I'm hung up on it now, Dana. I'm hung up on the memories of building that brand together.
That was so fun, though. I mean, it's just
because it was such a passion project.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
We're such a passion project. I mean,
come on, pressing skis in the garage and then going up and
riding them out
and test them out, and then getting designs printed and putting them. I mean, come on, that was awesome. It was fun.
It was so much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not manufacture skis any longer. That just for clarity. I still have the whole setup in a Connex, the entire ski press, everything. I've just not been able to break my heart from it and actually sell it yet. It's on my to-do list because I need to remove that anchor, but I just can't quite do it yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
But back. I want to get back off of that. Get emotional here. Let's get back into branding and talk more about that, Dana. I want to go back a little ways in your history. You used to do a lot of wine labels. What did that do for your experience in the branding? Because that's building. And I want to bring this up because to me, when I look at wine labels, most people go to the store, they walk down the wine aisle, and you have to make an impact. You guys want to talk about a sea of white? It's just a sea of so many different flavors, colors, all this stuff. How do you know which one to grab? And so as a designer, how do you take somebody's vision and also make it sellable on the shelf?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's interesting you bring up wine because it's not something that you think would have a direct correlation to the trades, but
I think 100, I was drinking it last night.
Well, here, let me explain a little bit more. So, typically, a wine consumer, you're going to have a whole variety, but a lot of people they get in that aisle, they don't know what they're going for. They're going to a dinner party, they want something that looks good.
That's 100% how I do it.
That tastes, but there's a whole art and science that goes behind it, and the more you're going to be looking for things a bit more specific, but branding is all about perception. It's all about how do you communicate? And everything you do communicates. So if in different worlds, you're going to be wanting to communicate different things. And one that might be premium, it might be quality, it might be trust, it might be convenience, like ease, value. Like there's all these different levers that you can pull, and you can communicate that through visuals, through language, through all these things that we get to play with in brand. So with, wine, there's certain things that you're trying to communicate. Well, let's just pivot and talk about the trades.
Yeah, no, I was going to bring it right back there.
Because if you're, you're a general consumer, they don't know wiring code, or like if they're not going to go in and check to be like, hey, this wiring's really good. They don't know. What are they going to go on? Trust, professionalism. Can I trust these people? Well, I'd let them in my home. Because that's what it comes down to. And so you have to be trustworthy. You have to build trust. And to me, like, I think this is honestly, it's one of the biggest disconnects that I see when I look at branding in the trades. Like I look and I see the trades, and it's like, what is it? How long were you a journeyman before you became like a full-blown electrician?
Yeah, you're an apprentice for 4+ years, then you become a journeyman, and then they give you a van. And what that means is you're now free to do it on your own. But the reality is you go out there and fail a bunch.
Yeah.
And then the difference, and I'll tell you a line that my journeyman taught me early on. He goes, the difference between a journeyman and an apprentice, there's only one difference. A journeyman knows how to cover his mistakes.
There you go. But what I'm getting at, though, here is you learned, it was a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
You went through this whole education. You have all this knowledge, all this expertise, all this experience, and all this quality and craft that goes in to what you do in the trades. And I look at how things get presented so often, and it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
You don't look at the brand and think quality. You might see consistency, which, builds trust. But I think there's such an opportunity to just laser in on like quality and really elevate, what it is. Because like you are going into people's homes, you're fixing real problems and providing a fantastic customer service. It's like, why go in and do this whole thing at such a high level, at like just from like a white glove service, like a high quality restaurant, but then show up looking like a Happy Meal. It's like it's not how it doesn't line up. So
grabbing a steakhouse with a McDonald's uniform.
Exactly. But it's just like, it's not that it should, not that it should be like all high end, but that's just kind of an example of there's, I think, quality and.
Well, I think you're going to pay a different amount. You're going to spend different money.
And you're going to,
and if you go into that, actually we went to a phenomenal steak last night, and it was interesting. We sat on very uncomfortable chairs. The tables were not, and the presentation, honestly, the server had no presentation. It was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then you got to the menu and you started looking at it, and it's like, man, this steak is like the flavor and taste of this steak is $100 steak, like all day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it's only a $39 steak at this place we went to, and it was just tried it out, new spot, $39 steak. And I'm like, man, if this place could just, and I'm sitting there going, if they fixed a few things, they're now a $100 steak and not struggling.
If the market's there. Yeah.
Right. And I'm pretty sure it is here. There's a big market here in Ohio. So it's exactly speaking to because the branding is not just the image, it's the actual experience the customer gets.
100%. And it's that experience is like one of the things I love to do is just look across that full customer journey. Look at it from like every interaction that you might have, and use that as an opportunity to be like, how can we shape that perception? How can we build this? How can we make this better? What are the pain points that they currently have, and how can we eliminate those? And doing that through design systems, coming up with ways that you can thoughtfully solve those problems before, so they don't even become problems. You remove the friction, you remove the risk, and what happens? Yeah. People love the brand, they love the experience, and it just starts to like build and become better and better. And it's like, to me, it's brand is very much a part of business. And it's like the two they have to be integrated.
They are. And it's very important. I'm going to ask you another question, Dana.
Yeah.
If a skilled tradesperson is listening right now, someone is burned out but talented, what's the first step they should take to real freedom of their company?
Hit me with a big one here. First step. Well, first step I think is defining what freedom for them means. I think a lot of times when I talk with clients, what I try to do is really kind of understand who they are, what they are, their vision, their goals. And if you want to experience freedom, you have to first define what that is. Once you do that and you start to have that vision, then you can start making decisions. You can start saying like, hey, if my idea of freedom is no longer commuting an hour and a half each way to work.
Yeah.
And that was a personal thing. For me, that was like, all right, then what do I need to do? It's like, all right, yeah, I open my own studio. I do that. That gives me, 20 more hours of my week back.
Yeah, it does.
So it's just, there's certain things where it's like, so I think it's first figuring out where's it that you want to go, and then being just laser focused, and also just starting to like use that as your guide for decisions. Does this line up? Does it not? And yeah, you might be burnt out, but you know what? When you start doing that, when you see that vision, and then you start making steps towards that, you're going to start getting some energy back.
Man, that's some real gold. Knowing exactly where you want to go, having the end in mind first.
You have to, but it's like, it's so easy not to though. It's so easy to just get caught up, be reactive, and just kind of in that day to day. But if you can step back, get that perspective, that's
I don't know how much you do, but one of the things I picked up years ago, and I'm probably not as good as I should be at it, but I try to do it often. And that is get in and do journaling, write your goals down. And maybe I don't do it every day, but I go and I write, like I have a spot in my phone. I have my vision board and those things. You've seen those.
Yep.
I'm pretty public about those because I want the world to know where I'm going so that they're holding me accountable.
Yeah.
And the more people I have holding me accountable, the more I'm going to hold myself accountable to that. And I think knowing where freedom lies for you and what is driving you to that is so important. Bringing that full circle.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing, at least for me, when you write something down, you're able to bring clarity to it. You can take it apart in a different way for me. Like I can start to think about it and then be like, oh yeah, that's interesting. What about this? What about that? And it's a way to bring additional clarity to those thoughts and then make that vision even more real, because it's putting that pen to paper and putting that time and thought into it. So yeah, huge important thing to do, and definitely something that I need to do more of.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody has things that we need to improve on. Cool. Love that, Dana. Thank you for that. If people wanted to reach out to you, how would they get a hold of Dana Deininger and Campfire Studios?
Campfire-studio.com. Just go right there. It's my website. Shoot me an email, dana@campfire-studio.com. Would love to hear from you, and just yeah. So that's probably the simplest, easiest way.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to tell everybody out there just a little bit of something for you. This guy, if you have an idea, a branding, like, hey, I want to implement this form I need it to look better, a customer presentation, something, he's your guy. And I don't say that about a lot of people. I'm very careful about who I refer. I'm very careful. As you notice, there's not very many vendors here. I'm not a big, get a bunch of vendors in your event kind of guy. It's just not my thing. But I am all about supporting the people that have supported me. And I'm going to tell everybody out there, Dana, you got to get a hold of Campfire Studios. I'm so happy you are finally free for not my side jobs anymore, but actually, because I'm going to probably just keep you busy.
Hey, I'll take it.
Myself with all of my companies that I'm building and the stuff that I'm working on. So I'm really, really excited to work with you more, Dana. I'm excited for the world to be able to work with you as more of an open format now. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, Dana Deininger, thank you so much for being on my podcast today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
Cheers.